Hello, this is Wellington, and this is another Transformation Dynamics audio/video. And it is entitled The Indigo'S 3-Step Guide to Unplugging from the Matrix. And before we go anywhere, I want to emphasize a point. As the title of this presentation says, I mostly share information for the Indigo'S because they are the ones who resonate better with this information. The Indigo'S are kind of a new breed of humans, and this is not even a matter of being better or worse, but being the ones who have the gift, have the talent, have the ability, the level of consciousness to help everybody else in a way, or to keep the balance in the galaxy, if you will. And the Indigo'S understand this message, they resonate with it, especially because most Indigo'S are rebels, are mavericks. And you know, if you have been listening to me, you know at this point that metaphysics, true metaphysics as a science, not as a mode of quote-unquote spirituality, no, it is a science. And as a science, it is not politically or spiritually correct, all right? Politically or spiritually correct. That is not the goal of metaphysics. Therefore, my goal is not to please nor to get the approval from any of you. I want you to listen if you wish, investigate, do your part, try it in your life, and you have the results. No attachments, no conditions, nothing necessary for you. If you are the person who is meant to listen to this will resonate with you automatically. I'm pretty sure about that. Okay? And if this do not resonate with you, if it offends you in some way or makes you feel bad, you have a choice, as we all have. You can just unsubscribe from my channel. You don't have to listen to me. Okay, again, I share information for a very select group of people who are right now aligned with this new energy, this new mode of energy that is taking over our planet. So, with that out of the way, let's jump into the subject of this new presentation. Not too long ago, I released a video on the Matrix itself, explaining the different levels of the Matrix. And just to wrap it up, I don't want to be too long on this because you can watch that full video for a full, more in-depth explanation or exploration. But the Matrix basically is a dense field of collective consciousness, social programming, and made-up rules. They are all illusory at some level. The more you expand your consciousness, the more you see how illusory the Matrix can be. Okay? And to review, the Matrix includes 4 levels of density, as we call. Level 1 is the level of personal beliefs, what you believe about yourself, your self-image, that was imposed to you by society, by what society says is good, is bad, is pretty, is ugly, is the right size, the right body type, or the wrong, or whatever it is, okay? The second level is the level of rules, which is very dense. The social, religious, tribal rules, the collective beliefs of your group, of your family, etc. The third level is the level of theories, even denser. The scientific and medical beliefs that you abide by, that you trust. And I always have to repeat that. Some people are proud to say that they are agnostics. They don't believe in anything. They don't believe in religions, in spirituality, in metaphysics, but they believe blindly in science. So you are always believing something. There is no escape. That is a level of theories that most people in this planet abide by. A doctor in a white lab coat has as much power as the old shaman or voodoo priest used to have. If a doctor says you have so many days or weeks or months to live, you buy into that. But again, that is a construct in the matrix that you can choose to follow, to abide by or not. And last but not least, far from it, the level of natural laws and principles, gravity, electricity, aerodynamics, all the laws of physics that bind us, that hold us in this dense energy field. So again, the matrix is a dense field of this, the combination of all these beliefs. Okay? But now, there is one thing about the matrix. You are, pay attention, you are co-creating the matrix. If you happen to be in this timeline, in this parallel reality in which you are experiencing a consensual reality as we are now, you are contributing to the matrix somehow. And I tell you, if you after awakening, enlightenment, ascension, it can only be fully experienced when you are unplugged from the matrix. And I will explain you what that is, because some people, due to false religious and spiritual constructs, they think that they have to die to go into another spiritual body to get away from this. No, it's not about this. Okay? Our goal, really, is not to eliminate or battle the matrix, as you see in the movie. That movie is fictional, it has a lot of truth, but not all truths are true in that movie. So we don't want to battle or eliminate the matrix, but what we want, the true metaphysicists, the true masters of reality, what we do is to embrace the matrix and expand it. Expand the very consciousness of the matrix, and that's what I'm doing now, by releasing this information. So, as we expand our level of consciousness, overcoming those constricting, limiting levels of the matrix, we are helping to expand the consciousness of the whole universe. Okay? That is how important it is for you to unplug if you want to go anywhere. So, what a true master does? A true master navigates into the matrix without being enslaved by it. But we recognize our oneness, being the one, as in the legend of Neo, as in the legend of Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, Rama, Babaji. Being the one is recognizing that we are unique within the matrix, and we have all the ability, all the power to overcome the rules of the matrix and be individual units of consciousness, a center of consciousness, creating from that center. Okay? Therefore, we operate from our individual unit of consciousness, instead of following the wave of collective consciousness. When you are trapped by the matrix, you are a follower. You are not a leader, you are not a master, you are not self-realized if you live your life following the rules of the matrix. So here I will give you 3 steps to unplug from the matrix as it is. And they are not the only steps, there are more steps, but you have to go through these 3 basic steps to start freeing your mind from the matrix, okay? And if you follow it, if you do it, you'll see how these steps will give you many secondary benefits, as they have given to me and to most of my students. These benefits come because as you release that heavy, dense field of energy, or you release yourself from it, you free yourself from it, you spend less energy. And as you spend less energy, you achieve optimum health, you achieve peace of mind, you achieve power to focus on the parallel realities, the probable realities that you want. So again, there are many benefits just by unplugging. I'm not even teaching advanced techniques to master the matrix completely, but just unplugging will open the door to a whole new reality for you. One of the benefits is peace, a deep peace of mind. When you know that it feels like you are playing, going along in a game, but you are not enslaved by that game anymore. You lose the fear, you drop the fear of the unknown, you drop the fear of any power that you have believed to exist due to the constructs in the matrix. Another benefit is obviously power. And when I say power, I'm not telling about the power to overcome others. No, we don't need that. We, masters, we are aware of all infinite possibilities and probabilities. We know how to create the destiny that we want. So why should we hurt anyone along the way? We don't have to do that, because that idea of for me to gain, you have to lose. For me to gain, I have to take something from you, is a lower level of consciousness. These people are not spiritual at all, they are not metaphysical at all. So that power is the power that gives you that sense, yes, I'm in control. And nobody will take that control from me. Another benefit is amazing health, a state of balance, because as you go through these steps, you will see again that you'll be discharging, releasing energy that you don't have to hold it to. And those, I would say, incompatible energies, they are the ones that make your body, your physical body, which is made of energy, sick. Because sickness or disease is just incompatible or incongruent frequencies of energy. It's feeling negative emotions. So once you unplug from the matrix, your body, your glands, your hormones, your cells, they sing in joy, in a state of joy, because they are literally for the first time experiencing freedom from the bondage of this set of constructs. And obviously with all these benefits, the one that most people, all people who are sane and want in life, happiness, joy. Because when you have peace, you have power, you have health, including the ability to rejuvenate and to extend your life for a long time, what is left but being happy about who you are? And of course, there are the third level benefits. You'll be more efficient. You will find the job that you want. You'll be able to study. You'll learn things quicker. You'll make more money. They are all part of the package. Okay? There is nothing right or wrong in the level of infinite consciousness. You can be a billionaire and still be the most powerful, quote-unquote, spiritual or metaphysical person you can be. All right? And that is part of unplugging, bringing down, getting out of these limiting concepts. Is either A or B? Is either this way or that way? No. It is any way you choose it to be for your life. Let's then jump into the 3 steps that I promised to share with you. The very first step to unplugging can be clearly explained by a phrase, a statement by the great Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama. And he said, have no attachments, have no aversions. And that is the first step. Because the Buddhist philosophy says that attachment and aversions are the root of suffering. And when I say have no attachment, for example, I don't mean that you don't care about anybody, you don't like the things that you have, that you create. But it means that you use those things, you enjoy those things without that neurotic fear of losing it. Because the fear of losing it is what will cause you to lose eventually. But if you have no attachments, like there are two types of parents. There are those parents that raise a child and they feel like that child belongs to them, has to follow their religion, their political ideas, their sports thing, have to be straight or this or that or heterosexual. Okay? And there are parents that say clearly, my kids don't belong to me. They were created for the world, and I give them the freedom to be who they want to be. That is no attachment. You can't say that you love anybody if you hold on to that person, if you're jealous, if you want to keep that person away from others, afraid of losing that person to someone else. You know what I mean? That is no attachment. It doesn't mean that you have to give up everything and go to a remote mountain and have nothing. No, you can be a multi-billionaire and not be attached, not be enslaved by that. Because again, then that is a paradox. The moment you lose attachment, you have no reason to lose what you have anymore, or to create things that you still want to create. So that is a state of freedom, folks. Think about that. And the other side, no aversion. Why do you have aversion to something? Because you believe that the thing is more powerful than you are, right? Give me another reason. Okay? So, I'm telling you this. Some so-called, quote-unquote, spiritual teachers or New Age teachers tells you to stop watching TV, don't listen to the radio, don't listen to the TV, don't read the newspapers, isolate yourself and be meditating for 24/7. I tell you, that is a very boring way of exploring the matrix. You can be exposed to anything, but no aversion is the same as the great master taught us, no judgment. Don't judge, so you won't be judged. Remember that you are experiencing a consensual reality that you chose to experience. So if you see things that are really repulsive, like rapes, murders, abuse of young people, of older people, of the elderly, you are in that situation because you have a lesson to take out of that. But the first step to understand your lesson, why you chose this consensual reality, is eliminating any attachment and any aversion to anything. So be neutral. Don't judge. Just look at the things, follow the things that you like, reject the things that you don't like, discard them. If you watch TV and you see bad news, just tell yourself, I'm not a part of this reality. I have had circumstances in which people told me, I didn't know that you do that, or no, that is not, the right thing to do, or you eat this, or you drink that. And I just look at them and say, I'm not in the same reality as you are. Okay? That is my standpoint. I am the source of consciousness of my reality. And that's why I accomplish all that I have accomplished and continue accomplishing. Alright, so the first step, again, to unplug from the matrix, having no attachment to anything and having no aversion to anything. Let the world run its course. The only way you'll be able to help or to change the world is if you at a higher level than normal humans are. Clear? Now to step 2 of unplugging from the matrix. Ready? Stop giving your power away, which is the same as remove your power from anything. That ties to the first one and to the third one. This is not linear. You have to practice the 3 steps at the same time. But stop giving your power away. And how do you give your power away? Every time you worry, every time you are fearful, every time you buy into the BS beliefs of traditional science, traditional religion, spirituality, you are giving a large portion of your power, allowing them to control your life. But I have to tell you the truth. Nobody has more power than you do. Truly. I know that. You might not know, but I know you better than you know yourself. Because I have been there, I have done that. So you have more power than anything, anyone else in your reality. Why? Tell me why. If you can figure it out. Alright? Nobody has more power than you, because nobody can control your thoughts. Can anyone? You can think whatever you want to think at any moment. And nobody can enter your mind and stop you from thinking something, right? Now, they can temporarily lock your physical body in a jail or in a restricting situation. But I tell you, at an advanced level of thought, not even that can happen anymore. Once you overcome the matrix, you become kind of untouchable. Once you are a metaphysical practitioner, not to say a metaphysical master, but just by being a metaphysical practitioner, like it happened to me not a few days ago. I passed to the customs at an airport and I had a mark in my paper by some paper they give you to sign. And in other circumstances before, we were stopped and they opened our luggage. At this time, I was so focused on these principles that I passed through as if we were invisible. Nobody even looked at us, as if we were not there. Okay, so when I say untouchable, you reach a level when you stop giving power to things, these things don't affect you anymore. It sounds incredible. But I can only tell you that it's true because I have experienced that over and over again. I can always get away with what I want without violating anybody's free will, without hurting anybody. But I set my mind to get away with what I want and get all that I want. So, again, once you remove more and more power from the matrix, you become untouchable, as the masters are. Some masters can sit in the jungle with a lion or tigers and snakes around them, and these animals behave as little pets because they remove the power of these things. Okay? And one thing, now pay attention, and that is the religious or spiritually incorrect part of metaphysics. The biggest trap in the matrix, the biggest construct that holds you back is the religious / spiritual / new age constructs. If you give power to anybody, a priest, the pope, a shaman, a ascended master, a guru, you are giving away a little bit of your power. Because I tell you, a true master, his only intention is to free your mind. Why you think Jesus said, those who believe in me will do the things that I do and even greater things? He didn't say he was better than you and me. He said we can be better than he is. And my first immortal master told me, you will become a master once you think you are stronger than I am. Once you think you can do more than I do. And that is the truth. A true master has one and only one intention: to free your mind, so you can become the master of your reality, regardless of what Buddha said, of what Jesus said, of what Babaji, or whatever, whoever you call a superior being. Because there is no superiority at this level. They embrace us with an open heart at the same level as they are. So don't be trapped by spiritual conditioning, by this old energy, religious, new age even law of mind teachings that restrict you, that impose conditions in your life. You are free. Create your own rules. Create your own system. Create your own religion, for God's sake, if you have to. But free yourself. Stop giving power. Remove the power away. Another example. Some people, as I mentioned before in another video, audio, some people say they're spiritual, they have this level, that level, but when it comes to eating something, oh no, I cannot eat this because this is going to harm my body, it's going to affect my energy field. Or I cannot have a glass of wine sometimes because that is sinful, that is against spiritual. Or I cannot have sex, I cannot drop my seed. That's all BS. Those are all constructs in the matrix that you are giving power to. So do you think a hamburger has more power than infinite consciousness? If you do, you are screwed. Alright, that's the truth. And I'm here to share the truth, no matter how politically or religiously incorrect it is. Okay? So look at the small things in your life that you are giving too much power to, and correct that. So again, to review. The first step to unplugging: have no attachment and no aversion to anything. Be neutral. Live this life. Live in the matrix without being a slave, an emotional slave of it. Second, stop giving your power away. Remove your power from anything. Say, I'm more powerful than anything in this universe, including a hamburger, including the Pope, including Jesus Christ. I am more powerful. And last but not least, I told you everything here ties together. In linearity, we have to call it 3 steps, but they don't go in any order. They all have to be practiced at the same time because they all complement each other. Step 3 to unplugging from the matrix: change your reactions. Why? Because when you have attachment or aversion to something, you are reacting to that. When you are giving power to something or someone, you are reacting to that. So, that is the first step to literally, and I tell you, you don't learn that in The Secret, in any of this New Age stuff that you watch thousands and thousands of videos, you buy books, and you never get out of that cycle, You never get out of the Groundhog Day syndrome. Because you are not taught the very basic, the very first step to transform your reality completely. You will only start seeing changes in the echo, the external, the mirror, when you change your reactions. What that means? When you see, you start realizing that the person who used to bother me before doesn't bother me anymore. That situation that made me worry don't worry me anymore. You are releasing the chains that hold you to that experience until you learn to detach and to react in a different way. This is the core secret of the so-called law of attraction. Okay? Pay attention to the information that is getting to you. I'm teaching you information that until a few years ago was held only to secret societies, that was hidden from the public somehow, so just a few people held the power. But now with the new energy after 2012, it belongs to all who have the eyes to see and the ears to listen. Change your reactions. And that is very simple. I teach some advanced processes, but I will give you a very simple one. Whenever you are in a situation that starts bothering you, just stop for a few seconds and ask, how would the enlightened person react to this? At the beginning, it will be a matter of practice. You have to practice for a few days or a few weeks, whatever. But once it becomes an autopilot, once it is your natural reaction, is not to react, but to define how I want to be who I wanted to be in this situation, then you start to see miracles. Then your reality says, yes, he's changed or she's changing her reaction. There is a different energy field, so that the energy field now is compatible with the health, with the rejuvenation, with the love, with the wealth, with the joy, with enlightenment, because now she is not reacting the way she did before, as if she had no power whatsoever and having attachment and aversion to things. Can you get it? Can you realize how deep this is? And how many secondary benefits? I'm giving you information here that is more valuable than information that you find in 1,000 books together, just in this short audio/video, okay? So pay attention to it, folks. You asked for it. If you are listening to me right now, you are meant to be. Because nothing happens by choice, okay? But by chance. So pay attention. Change your reactions. Don't react the same way you did, because then your reality has to keep giving you that same result, the result of your reactions. Like, let's say, a reaction, a simple example. You wake up in the morning, you go out, there is rain, and you forgot your umbrella. You might say to yourself, your conditioned reaction might be, oh, I might get cold because I'm getting some cold rain over my head, I don't have an umbrella, I don't have a hat. So, okay, it's a choice, but you can also choose, water doesn't kill anybody, water doesn't hurt anybody, I'm in harmony with nature, with the water. That is an example of a reaction, the way you respond to reality. Once you don't give power to anything, and once you have no attachment and no aversion. You see how this all ties together? So those are the 3 steps to unplugging you from the matrix. And as I told you before, that is the only way for you to grow, whether you want to call it spiritually. I call it expansion of consciousness. There is no such a thing as spirituality in metaphysics. There is just a constant growth and expansion into more and more of who you are meant to be. Someone in control of your personal reality. So I hope you enjoyed this, and if you have any interest in talking to me personally, working with me personally, you can always check my website. I have a 100% risk-free program that nobody pays before a session. They take the session, if they love it and decide to continue, they will. Alright? So you have a great day, a great week. Thanks for listening. I hope you absorb this. Listen to this over and over again. And may the force be with you, always.